settle down in the Ark Synagogue sanctuary, we welcome everybody who is joining us this evening to welcome in the Sabbath. We begin our service on page 79. Page 79. And would you please rise? I will make you a light to the nations, that my salvation may reach the ends of the earth. As these candles remind us of past generations of our people who have sought to live up to that high ideal, so may we in our day strive to be a source of light to those about us. And to be a source of light, we first light 2 candles that remind us of Karina Ariev and all of the hostages held in Gaza at this time, and all those who are unable to sleep in their own beds. And then the Shabbat candles. You think? Yeah. Thank you. We say together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat shalom. And please be seated. Eternal God, your glory fills the universe. We are never beyond the touch of your hand. Yet we are grateful for special times and places which help us, in company with others, to reach out to you. Here at this hour, let us feel your nearness. Grant that we may hear your voice, speaking in our hearts as, in the stillness of Sabbath peace, we turn to you. Mizmor Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash. Sing a new song to the Eternal One who has done wonderful things. You have made known your saving power, your righteousness to the nations. You remember your love and faithfulness for Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen your saving power. Shout for joy to the Eternal One, all the earth. Break forth, sing aloud, sing praise. Sing praise with the harp and the sound of melody. Let trumpet blast and horn resound before the sovereign God. Let the sea roar and all that fills it, the world and all who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap hands. Let the mountains join in joyful song before the eternal God who comes to rule the earth, to rule the world with justice and the peoples with righteousness. Lechadoti lekrat kalai yanalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadoti lekrat kalai yanalai 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shalom v'zachor v'dibor echad ish מיוחד, אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, יננה, 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 בני שבת, לקבלה. לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי נתבור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשוכה, זו מעשה במחשבת הילה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, יננה, 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 בני שבת, לקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי העורק הוא מאורי, אורי, אורי, שדברי, כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, יננה, 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 בני שבת, לקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה וצהלה, תוך אמונם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לחדותי לקראת כלה, יננה, 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 בני שבת, לקבלה. לחדותי לקראת כלה, יננה, 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 בני שבת, לקבלה. We turn to page 92, and before we rise, totally on time, a wonderful couple of our congregation that have known me far longer than I have known them, walked into the sanctuary right on time. The tune that we just sang to L'Chadodi was written by the Kol HaNeshama congregation in Jerusalem. And this week, wonderfully, Rabbi Leah has led a group of people from our congregation and two others to Israel. And the opportunity to go down to the south, to go to Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. So we're delighted to see Peter and Carol here this evening back. Or Carol from that trip, not Peter, he got left behind. But we're also delighted to have two of the travellers who very often lit up our Shabbats over a 4-month period with many emojis back in the sanctuary. Also, Barbara from the Czech Republic, one of our members, who whenever she can is here, so we're delighted to see you as well. And so we say for all of you who have been on a journey, we thank you, eternal God, that you have been with us on our journey and enabled us to return safely. Help us to make good use of what we have experienced, enjoyed and achieved on our travels as we rededicate ourselves to your service. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, gomer chasadim tovim. We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, for all your kindness. Please rise. The one to whom our praise is due. We praise the Eternal One, to whom our praise is due forever. Please be seated. On page 93, we read together, we praise you, Eternal One, our God, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates. whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, and darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. We praise you, O God, whose word makes evening full. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavata, Amcha ahavata. Torah u'mitzvot, u'kimu mishpatim, Otanu lemahadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shalpenu, umeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeh yoman v'layla, negeh yoman v'layla. V'achavatcha al tasu, meneinu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. 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 Baruch Shem kavod malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem kavod malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, v'chol levavecha, u'v'chol nafshecha, u'v'chol ma'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi metzavacha hayom al levavecha. V'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha v'derech, u'v'shochbacha uv'kumecha. U'shaltan ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'vish arecha. Lema'an tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'tem kadoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Please be seated. All this we hold to be true and sure. You alone, Eternal One, are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You have freed us from oppressors and delivered us from tyrants. You led us out of Egypt forever to serve you in freedom. When we witnessed your power, we praised your name and gave thanks. Willingly we accepted your rule. Then, full of joy, we sang together. Said, the Eternal One has delivered Jacob and redeemed us from the hand of one stronger than ourselves. We praise you, O God, Redeemer of Israel. And together, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufaros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, v'taknenu be'etza tova melfanecha, v'hoshi'enu lema'an shemecha, v'hagein ba'adenu, V'haseh me'aleinu oyev dever v'cherev v'ra'av v'yagon. V'charchek mimenu avon v'fesha. Uv'tzel knafecha tastirenu. Ki el shomrenu u'matzilenu ata. Ki el melech chanun v'rachum ata. U'shemot seitenu uvo'enu. L'chaim u'l'shalom. Me'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch ata Adonai. Hapurei sukat shalom aleinu, va'al kol yoshvei teva. Please rise. Na 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 Adonai. Ana na 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 sefatai tiftach. Ana na 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ana na 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 Adonai. Ana na 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 sefatai tiftach. Ana na 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 ufi yagid. Na 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 sefatai tiftach. Ana na 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 ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open up our lips that our mouths may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, V'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imachot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'achava, Melech Chozeh U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Machayei Meitim Ata Rab L'Choshia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh U'Morid HaTal, Machalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Machayei Meitim Barachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Makayei Memunato L'Shenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Memit U'Machayei U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'Ne'eman Ata L'Hachayot Meitim, Baruch Ata Adonai, Machayei HaMeitim, Kadosh Ata V'Norah Shemecha, Ve'ein Lanu Eloah Baladecha, Baruch Ata Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat, la'asot et HaShabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. Top of page 100 we read together. Our God and God of our ancestors, may our rest on this day be pleasing in your sight. Sanctify us by your commandments and make us loyal to your teaching. Satisfy us with your goodness, gladden us with your salvation, and purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Eternal One, let the holiness of your Sabbath enter our hearts, and may all Israel who hallow your name be exalted by its peace. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of the Sabbath. Tzei Adonai Eloheinu ba'amacha Yisrael, Tfilatam ahavat kabel, Ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch ata Adonai, she'otecha levadecha, b'yirah na'avot. And together we give thanks that you, Eternal One, are our God. As you were the God of our ancestors, you are the rock of our life, the power that shields us in every age. We thank and praise you for our lives which are in your hand, for our souls which are in your keeping, for the sounds of your presence we encounter every day, and for your wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. We praise you, O God, source of goodness, to whom our thanks are due. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, Tasim leolam, Shalom Rahav al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim leolam, Tasim leolam, Tasim leolam. Praise you, O God, the source of peace. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable to you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. Hagion libi lefanecha, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori v'goali, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori v'goali. Adonai tzori v'goali, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori, Adonai tzori v'goali. This is Shabbat Shalach Lacha, otherwise known as the Shabbat for sleuths, or at least scouts or spies. The majority of the Torah reading sees the Israelites spurn the chance to enter the land soon after leaving Mount Sinai. And the Haftarah is a complementary passage from the book of Joshua. A woman, a sex worker, Rachav, is the star of the story, who saves Joshua's 2 spies and enables the Israelites to defeat the city of Jericho. Yet there are also a few other miscellaneous laws chucked in at the end of this portion. Most are suggested to be post-exilic rulings that were supplementary or complementing previous rulings, or it seems they have no connection to the spies, unless it is that the people were punished at the end of the story for falling for the negative narrative and not trusting God. So perhaps these commandments, these rules are there at the end to suggest that the promise was still there, that the people will come to the land, even if in another generation's time. The portion, though, concludes with this injunction: speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all God's commandments and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your urge to stray. Tzitzit. Well, we liberal Jews normally know them best at the corners of a talit. And I'm always reminded of my dad's tzitzit when I come to this portion and whenever I think of it. I think of a time in Charleston. I've seen that Rabbi Howard Berman is with us. The very famous and beautiful Reformed synagogue in Charleston, South Carolina. It was 1977 and Dad was taking 6 months sabbatical. And for 2 months we traveled around the States, visiting various places. One of those, the first, was New York. And I remember walking in to this incredible cathedral of a synagogue where Rabbi Howard Berman was the rabbi, and marveling that it didn't feel very full, even though there were probably about 400 or 500 people there. Ruth and I didn't get the chance to sit next to Dad, nor Mum, in fact, when we were growing up in synagogue, because Mum was singing in the choir and Dad was up here. But I remember in Charleston, South Carolina, sitting next to Dad and playing with the tzitzit of his tallis. Now, I don't actually know whether that's true or whether it's legendary, but it has stuck in my mind, twiddling Dad's tzitzit of his tallis. This portion, this injunction to have tzitzit on your garments, follows one where a person willfully desecrates the Shabbat, and his punishment is final. So Rashi, one of the best-known medieval commentators, quoting a midrash or a rabbinic tale, offers a connection to the spies. He suggests of the passage, so you do not follow your heart and eyes. The heart and the eyes are the spies of the body. They act as its agents for sinning. The eye sees, the heart covets, and the body commits the sin. The tzitzit are therefore reminders of the commandments. And Rashi also notes the gematria, the numerical value of the word tzitzit offered by the numbers of the letters, saying that tzitzit will remind one of all the commandments, because the numerical value of the letters of the word tzitzit is 600. But surely there are 613 commandments. Rashi's got the answer, or gematria does. Because there are 8 threads and 5 knots in the fringes, so that you have 613, which is the number of the commandments in the Torah. Why do we need reminders of how to behave ethically and ritually as good human beings, as Jews? Rashi seems to suggest that the eyes and heart of humanity can spy the wrong course of action and still take that route. The tzitzit provide the possibility to rein in errant decision-making. In no way do I believe that liberal Jews, who in daily life do not wear tzitzit, stand more chance of doing wrong. Yet I do like the idea of being reminded to check our behavior. Indeed, perhaps in the upcoming elections in so many countries of the world, Chabad might hand out tzitzit to politicians in an effort to temper any urge to lie, slander, or hurt. I'm not sure whether twiddling tzitzit leads to right behavior. But twiddling dads in South Carolina many years ago clearly left an impression that has meant I don't need to wear them on a daily basis. It's with me all the time. Even more, my upbringing made me very aware of the reminders in our texts concerning appropriate behavior. One of them, Rabbi Hillel used to say, Uvimkom she'ein anashim, hishtadel lihiot ish. When none behave like human beings, behave like a human being. Happy twiddling. Amen. Let us turn to our concluding prayers now that you can find on page 520. Page 520, and please rise.
לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה יוצאת בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו להד את שמו, וגואל עלינו להמליך מלכותו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופן מרוממים, הוא אלוהינו העינון, אמץ מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת עינות. נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
As we worship before you, O God, we think of those who once shared with us the joys and burdens of life and who are no longer in our midst. The sorrow of bereavement is softened by the bond of love which continues to unite us with our dear ones, and by our cherished memories of them, which we will always carry in our hearts. On this Shabbat, we remember the art sites of Derek Blaine, the husband of Andrea, Graham Newman, the husband of Jackie, Rachel Morris, the mother of John, Stephen Herman, the husband of Judy and father of Ed and Jess, James Ryber, the father of Jean, Roland Minton, the father of Howard, Sue Brodie, wife of Lee and mother of Anna, Adolf Kohn, the father of Elkin, Hannah Sable, the wife of John Sable, mother of Judith, Daniel and Susan, and grandmother of Natana, Joel and Sam, Gerald and Lynn Edelman, the parents of Keith and David, and Ephraim Freeman, the father of Sandy Edelman, and Margie Kirshner, the wife of Glenn. And we're saddened by the death this week of Lorraine Dorothy Jackson Lucas, the mother of Tammy and my very good friend, Leo Smallwood. May all that was good in their lives remain with us as an influence for good. O God, grant consolation to those who are in sorrow and light to those in darkness. Teach us at all times to put our trust in you and to praise your name, as we do so together on page 524. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbi mavarach le'olam ulamei amaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ah v'yitromam v'yitnasei, v'tada v'talei v'talal shemei d'kudisha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol b'nai Adam. V'imru. Amen. Please be seated. I really can't think too far past tomorrow because we've just got so much going on. Tomorrow morning we begin at 9:30 with Tot Shabbat. There's then teas and coffees at 10 o'clock. And what else is going on? Then we've got a community celebration Shabbat with all of the Cheder coming in and participating in synagogue as well. And afterwards, they're staying on for a picnic in the back. So if you're able to get down onto the floor with a picnic mat and wish to join them, then you're very welcome. Just remember you need to get up again as well. They're not going to have any problems, so just be selective. Now, though, also, if you want to join our Kiddush Zoom room, please do. You'll find the link at the bottom of the screen. We're going to be making Kiddush here in the sanctuary, so you won't need to wait for us for too long. The other thing to say is that Rabbi Leah, as I said, was leading our group in Israel this week. Just after that concluded, she was invited to attend the board meeting of our sister movement, the Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism. You may think that that is going to be a very, very boring thing. Now, Rabbi Leah sits through many, many boring meetings. It's one of the reasons why I'm delighted that she does all the kinds of things that she does, so I don't have to. But at that meeting, it was one where she had been invited specifically so they could thank her for all of the work she has done over at least the 5 years when she was in official post as the chair of the Progressive Zionist Movement for the World. Rabbi Gilad Kariv, who was the leader of the movement until he went into Knesset as a member of Knesset in the Labour Party, came specially out of Knesset to be able to offer his praise to Rabbi Leah. But he added in at the end also a thanks to you, to us. He said thank you to the Ark Synagogue for allowing us to have Rabbi Leah in such a role and for having and supporting your rabbis to play such roles within the Jewish world. Dad did it in his time and Leah is doing it in our time now. And we should be incredibly proud of them, but also of ourselves, that we enable our rabbis to go out into the world to really make a difference. She will be coming back, and of course, and this week she has, I think it's on Wednesday evening, a session with the European region of Progressive Judaism that she's now the chair of course. And at that, she is going to be speaking on the issue of progressive Zionism. It couldn't be more salient. So please look out for the details, because I can't remember them right now. And look in your weekly update for everything else. So please do join in the Simmons and Howard and Carla and David and Pip in the Kiddush Zoom room right now with your cups of wine and your chalot as well, or whatever tipple you're having, whilst we bring it into the sanctuary ourselves and conclude with Yigdal, which you can find on page 526.
יגדל אלוקים חי וישתבח, נמצא ואין היטל מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, גם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו, אין לו דמות הגוף ואין לו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו, הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתן עולה, לאנשי סגולתו ותפארתו, לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד, נביא ומביט את דמותו. באמת נתן לעם אוהב, על יד נביאו נאמן ביתו. לא יכל לפעל ולא ימיר דעתו לעולמים לזולתו. צופה ויודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמתו. יודה לאיש חסד כמפעלו, נותן לשרשרה כרישתו. ישפוך לקץ ימים על כל בשר רוחו, לפדות מחכי קץ ישועתו. חיי העולם נטע בתוכנו, ברוך עדי עד שם תהילתו.
Please rise. Architect of the world, author of her story, grant us the courage to participate in the world's design, to join in the unfolding of her story. How we want to share in the responsibility of this world, to pray for its welfare, to care for her needs, to safeguard her treasures, to work for her rectification. Amen. Shabbat shalom to you all. Shabbat shalom to everybody, and please do join the Zoom room if you wish right now as we hand around the wine in the sanctuary. We're going to stay here to make Kiddush, so we might take a few moments' time to get Kiddush round to everybody. But in the meantime, just to say, that was I think it was a Moroccan tune that we concluded with Yegdal. So we really did go round the world with all of our tunes during this Kabbalat Shabbat service. And thank you to the wonderful choir for singing. Thank you so much indeed. It's, gosh, what chairs do. Thank you very much indeed. That's okay.